Alright, Joe Dolls, I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for tuning into my channel where we focus on finance, real estate, and other life topics. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell as I'm posting valuable new content on a weekly basis. Alright, so today I wanted to provide an update on the latest stimulus proposals. Now guys, as you know, there's been so much going on in the last couple weeks in terms of getting a second stimulus bill proposal passed altogether. Now last month, the HEROES Act was passed by the House of Representatives and is still in the United States Senate for review. Now that legislation, if passed by all three branches of government, would extend the $600 a week federal unemployment benefits until next year, and it would also provide another round of $1,200 stimulus checks to most people. Alright, Joe Dolls, so a new recent proposal will provide additional funding for the Paycheck Protection Program, also known as the PPP program. Now the Paycheck Protection Program was part of the last stimulus package and was designed to help small business owners. The Paycheck Protection Program is a loan designed to provide a direct incentive for small businesses to keep their workers on the payroll. SBA states that it will forgive the loan if employees are kept on the payroll for 8 weeks and the money is used for payroll, rent, mortgage, interest, or utilities. Now, under the proposal, certain small business owners may be able to apply for a second Paycheck Protection Program loan. Now, this legislation is called the Prioritized Paycheck Protection Program Act, and it would allow businesses with fewer than 100 employees to apply for a second loan if they've used up or are in pace to exhaust their first PPP loan and can show a 50% loss in revenue due to the current virus pandemic. Now, the proposal also requires that business owners show that they need the money for payroll and eligible non-payroll costs. Senator Ben Cardin stated many small businesses will continue to struggle in the weeks and months to come. Congress must act urgently to support our most vulnerable small businesses through this crisis so our economy can recover as quickly as possible after the pandemic. Every business we prevent from failing now is a business that will be in a position to create jobs during the recovery. And guys, I agree 100% with what he said. We need to do way more to support local small businesses and not just large corporations. Now, my only concern, Joe Dolls, is that we make sure that the money really gets to those who need it. With the last round of funding with the PPP, we saw large corporations such as Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and the Shake Shack, and I love them both. But these guys got millions of dollars in funding that they did not need, and even some who are the most well-off in our society, I'm talking people with private jets, got millions of dollars in funding. So I really hope we get it right this time around, and what I mean by that, guys, is that we get the money to the right people as quickly as possible. Now, another proposal by the House Democrats this week is a $1.5 trillion infrastructure plan that calls for a huge increase in funding to repair roads, bridges, while also expanding access in rural areas for broadband. Now, Democrats describe the bill as the biggest legislative effort to fight climate change. Speaker Nancy Pelosi stated that the package would make real the promise of building infrastructure in a green and resilient way. It's job creating in its essence, but it's also commerce promoting, so it grows the economy of our country. The infrastructure bill is known as the Moving Forwards Act, which includes $25 billion for drinking water, $100 billion for broadband, $70 billion for clean energy products, $100 billion for low-income schools, $30 billion to upgrade hospitals, $100 billion in funding for public housing, and $25 billion for the Postal Service. Now, tensions have flared up recently due to the $500 billion that was included in the bill and is allocated towards green energy. The bill would require states to account for climate change before undertaking projects and also require the states meet certain greenhouse gas emission goals when they receive the funding. Some feel that this could be burdensome for the states and it would also lead to overregulation. Now, Transportation and Infrastructure Committee Chairman Peter DeFazio stated, and I quote, "Those who don't believe in climate change, tough luck. We're going to deal with it." Republicans on the committee have nicknamed the legislation the My Way or the Highway bill, and they've been airing their frustrations, stating that they were excluded from the bill's crafting. As far as the infrastructure bill as a whole, Republicans have raised concerns about the cost of the bill. Now, Democrats have yet to outline how they're going to pay for this bill. However, Speaker Nancy Pelosi stated, and I quote, "With the interest rates where they are right now, there's never been a better time for us to go big." And to be honest, guys, I agree with her 100%. Now, I'm not saying that we just completely disregard costs or the mounting debt and just throw it out, but we do find ourselves in a very unique situation, guys. I mean, we have a pandemic, we have record low interest rates and high unemployment. Now, the Federal Reserve has stated that they are keeping interest rates for the next 2 years at near zero. And Fed Chairman Jerome Powell has insisted throughout this crisis time and time again, there is no limit to the central bank's willingness to offer cheap lending, and has also reiterated the importance of us doing more in terms of getting money to those who need it and investing in our economy. A vote on this legislation is expected before the 4th of July recess. Now, the bill, which will most likely pass the Democratic-led House, but it's going to face very strong resistance in the Republican-led Senate. I think that anytime we invest in our infrastructure, guys, to fix crumbling bridges, potholes, repair our freeways and highways, and our energy grid, I think that that's a great investment in our country. I mean, in many ways, to be honest, the United States is way behind other nations from an infrastructure perspective. We have a lot of work that needs to be done, and if doing it now is going to cost us less money, given the low rates that are available right now, and also create jobs to help lower our unemployment number, I just think that we should do it and do it quickly. Now, another recent proposal that is being discussed is known as the Explore America's Tax Credit, which would allow you to claim back 50% of the expenses incurred while traveling on vacation. Now, some of these expenses include aspects of your trip such as meals, lodging, recreation, transportation, amusement, or entertainment. So the claim can be made up to a maximum of $4,000, and if passed, it would last through the end of 2021. Alright, so the big push for the travel credit would be to stimulate our economy. The money can only be accessed and reimbursed if it's first spent, so it has to be injected into our economy. Now, this does have the potential to be distributed across the tourism business, and it may help with unemployment as there would be increased travel demand and there would possibly be more hiring to meet that demand. Now, there's also two main reasons that some are against the travel credit. Its introduction would encourage more Americans to travel across the country, and this is risky at the moment given the current virus pandemic. Now, steps can be taken to minimize the spread, but the more people that are interacting and traveling increases the chance of infection and potentially a second wave of the virus, which could force the economy back a few steps, especially if we're forced to shut down again. Now, critics of the bill also point out that many of those who need the money to survive are not those that are wanting to travel and go on vacation right now. People just want to be able to pay their bills and provide for their family. As a credit, again, which would be reimbursed through your filing of taxes and not money into the account, this would not help you to pay for your bills, although those working in the tourism industry could see some income-related opportunities. To be honest, Joe Dolls, I have mixed feelings on this travel credit. I do feel it has the potential to help the travel and hospitality industry, which has just been completely devastated by the pandemic. I mean, it's been taken out due to these mass shutdowns. However, I do not think that most people have $4,000 just sitting around available to spend on travel at the moment and can wait to the end of the year to get reimbursed. I mean, we already know that the majority of Americans cannot afford a $400 or more emergency, and we still have record unemployment in our country at the moment. I honestly feel, guys, that the correct approach is just give the money directly to the people, give the money to those who need it, and allow them to use it the best way that makes sense for them and their individual situation. So, Joe Dolls, what are your thoughts about these proposals? Do you like any of them? Please leave your feedback in the comment section below. Also, if you found value in the video, please hit the like button and share it on your social media platforms. It really does help to support and grow the channel. Thanks again for watching, and until next time.